gentlemen, this episode of Monday Night Raw was an emotional roller coaster. We laughed, we cried, we peed ourselves a little bit. And as Monday Night Raw has to slowly plug away towards SummerSlam because we're waiting for SmackDown to get done with their pay-per-view, you know, at least I can say I'm looking forward to next week's Raw.
Yeah, they did a lot of building towards next week's episode of Raw.
And I think, I feel like maybe Kurt has something to do with this.
Yeah.
Because I feel like back in like that Attitude Era and then just past the Attitude Era, I feel like that was the time where they did the best job of building stories on the shows.
Yeah.
And making you want to see next week's SmackDown or next week's Raw.
Yeah, and I think that's been a running concern with Monday Night Raw. It's like, oh, we know this one match that's going to happen next week, but then the rest of the show just kind of comes together during the show, and it's like, well, why are they doing these things? And now we have like half of the show set for next week.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's kind of a cool thing to have, like, matches to look forward to.
Yeah, because we've got like 4 of them.
And not just one.
Yeah, we've got like 3 or 4 of them set for next week. And we opened this episode of Raw with Dean Ambrose coming out with the chair that he used to attack...
Steely Dan.
Yes, he is dubbed Steely Dan. That he attacked The Miz and the Entourage with last week. And essentially just challenges all 3 of them to come down and fight again. He just wants to continue to beat them up with the chair.
Yeah, and then Seth came out and said, dude, slow your roll a minute. That's 3 guys. That's way more than you.
And Dean was like, Seth, I told you not to deal with my shit, so go away.
I just like the running theme, because it's also the backstage segment there later where Dean's just like, I told you not to tell me what to do. And Seth's like, I'm not telling you what to do, I'm just saying.
And this really turned into an interesting situation because
we had Seth trying to really prove himself to Dean Ambrose that he's turned over a new leaf.
He legitimately apologized for his actions in destroying the Shield. And not all, like, I mean, obviously you could fake an apology, but then he legit turns his back and tells Dean to just swing away. Hit me with that chair as many times as you need to. And Dean, I thought Dean was going to do it for a second. He had that look like, this could feel real good. And then he threw the chair out of the ring. And then they just kind of like had an awkward stare down. To which the Miz and the Entourage came out.
The Miz and his Entourage. Not just the Entourage.
I'm calling them the Entourage.
Say at least the Miz's Entourage.
As long as I'm not saying that stupid word. Because I refuse to say that stupid word. You piece of shit. So Miz sends Dallas and Axel around the ring, to which they both pull out brand new chairs. Miz grabs the chair that Dean Ambrose chucked out of the ring. Steely Dan. And Dean...
This is a lot weird if you just say, and Miz grabbed Dan.
Yeah. He threw Dan out of the ring, and then Miz picked Dan up. And then Dan was used to beat the crap out of Dean Ambrose this week, because Dean jumps up.
Dean violence.
Dean immediately jumps out of the ring and goes after Miz, which allows both Dallas and Axel to get in and completely obliterate Seth Rollins. Miz, obviously having the chair, gets the advantage on Dean, and it is just all-out destruction on Dean Ambrose.
I mean, look at it this way. It's hard to fight the 2-on-1 odds when you're talking about a former Nexus member and a former NXT champion.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Hashtag things the commentators forget to say about these guys.
That's a very good point. So Seth ended up getting the skull-crushing finale on a chair. Dean ended up getting chucked into the stairs.
Another chair shot for good measure as they left.
Yes. And so now, Kurt has made a handicap match because they asked for it.
Yeah.
It'll be The Miz.
Because The Miz and Bo and Curtis and Maurice, who wasn't out for the segment.
No.
But she's backstage.
I think that was exactly why.
She was keeping the car ready.
Yeah, she had the car ready, she had bags ready, everyone was ready to just fucking leave.
Yeah, because they dipped
right
out.
They were done. So Seth and Kurt are, well...
And Dean as well.
Dean wasn't really... Anyway, Kurt gives them the option, like, hey, you can pick any two members of the group you want, and you can have a tag team match. And Dean's like,
two?
Screw that. Give us all three. And Seth's like, yeah, I'm fine with that. So we will have Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins versus The Miz, Curtis Axel, and Bo Dallas next week. And we had Bayley taking on Alexa Bliss. A great match. I really enjoyed this match between the two of them.
Me too.
Still making the women's division feel important. Nia still confuses me. I don't know why, like, she's all of a sudden friends with Alexa again. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Yeah, the sad part is it kind of makes Nia look like a bit of a simpleton.
Yeah. So she ends up coming out about halfway through the match and decides to stand in the corner of Alexa Bliss.
Though, okay, looking at it from Nia Jax's point of view, Alexa Bliss is like the smallest woman on the roster.
True.
And if you can protect her to be the champion the entire time until you can get a title shot, that seems like a fair assessment of what I would do.
Yeah, but she's already done the whole protecting... Like, I feel like she'd have a better chance if she just went one-on-one against Sasha.
Yeah. Well, she'd have a better chance if she went one-on-one against anybody.
That's true.
But that seems to not happen.
Yeah.
That's not a title or
because
titular
people
situation.
know what would happen. So Nia ends up being out there in Alexa's corner, even getting in the face of Bayley at one point, stopping her from chasing Alexa, allowing Alexa to hit a forearm and get a little bit of an advantage on Bayley, tossing her back in. And it's at this point Sasha runs down and just spider monkeys all over Nia.
Pounces her.
And so she ends up being able to take her out on the outside. And like there's all kinds of fighting happening, which distracts Alexa Bliss. Bayley tries to get her in a small package. She kicks out. And then Alexa tried to go for something. I'm not sure what she was going for, but ended up being turned into a belly to Bayley. And Bayley defeats the Raw Women's Champion. And now there is a slight dispute between Bayley and Sasha as to who deserves a shot to face Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam.
Going off of recent events, hands down it should be Bayley.
Because she actually pinned
2 weeks in a row now, she's beaten Alexa Bliss.
But Sasha does have the claim that she had the championship match and Alexa got herself counted out. So technically, Sasha didn't have a fair shot at the title. So now we'll have Sasha versus Bayley next week, and the winner will face Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam. That's 2 matches already we have set for next week.
Wow.
Ariya Daivari doesn't seem to like the way Titus Worldwide handles business.
I never thought I'd see the day
Where you'd agree with
where me and Daivari could be on the same side.
But how can you deny Titus Worldwide when you got Tozawa going, Titus Worldwide? Tozawa looks lost, but really wants to be involved in the Titus Worldwide thing. I don't know. Ariya was not too happy that Tozawa got the win by kicking the rope into Neville's nuts, and then pinning him afterwards. And so he decides he wants to challenge Tozawa to another match, and so they do that. And because of the damage that Neville did to Tozawa's shoulder last week in the tag team match, Daivari really hones in.
Well, no,
on
this
that.
was a post-match attack.
Oh yeah.
Because it was Tozawa versus Daivari, and Neville came in and interrupted the match.
Right. Yeah, it was on 205 Live. That's right. Thank you for that. And yeah, Daivari does a lot of damage to that shoulder.
So much so that Titus O'Neil decides to throw in the towel for Tozawa.
Yeah, and Tozawa is none too happy about that decision because
He becomes an angry monster.
he was so mad. This was probably my favorite part of the whole situation was him just like yelling at Titus like why would you do that? I don't give up. Why would you do it? You don't care about me. Why would you? And he was so upset that someone had chosen to end this match for him.
Yeah.
And so Titus kind of explains. He's like, I'm looking forward to the future. I don't want you to have permanent damage done to your shoulder. And so I'm looking out for your future. And Tozawa was like, fine, look out for my future. I want a match with Daivari tomorrow on 205 Live.
And Titus is just kind of like, man, this is what I was just trying to stop.
God damn it, Bobby.
God damn it, Tozawa.
So yeah, Titus is realizing that Tozawa is a little bit more of a handful than he expected.
Yeah.
He's not nearly as much of a yes man as Apollo Crews seems to be.
Yeah, no, trying to recruit Tozawa into your brand is like trying to babysit an 8-year-old who's just mainline IVs and Mountain Dew.
I love that analogy. Thank you.
And it's like, you give him a stick and he sees the neighbor's angry cat and he just wants to keep poking the 8-year-old who's all hyped up trying to poke an angry cat with a stick. That's Tozawa.
Wait, the kid or the stick?
The kid.
Okay. Or is it the cat?
He's all hyped up and he's trying to, he's poking at the monster.
So does that make Daivari the cat?
It makes like everyone else Tozawa fights.
Okay.
Is the cat and the stick.
And the monster.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Moving on. We also had a Cruiserweight Tag Team match where we had Jack Gallagher and Mustafa Ali taking on the Brian Kendrick and Drew Gulak.
No, we had Jack Gallagher in a handicap match.
Yeah, where Mustafa Ali
got tagged in for one move in the pin.
Yeah, Jack Gallagher ran the entire match by himself.
Bravely fought Drew Gulak and Brian Kendrick.
And then at one point was able to dump Gulak over the top rope.
That was a blind tag.
Yeah, blind tag Kendrick got. And then after trying to stop Jack Gallagher, Kendrick got a headbutt for his troubles. And Gallagher tagged in Mustafa Ali, who hit the inverted 450, and the face team picked up the win.
Yeah.
Like, they gave Mustafa the night off. He just had to do a flip, and that was it. Yeah.
I see how it is, Mustafa. Not a fan of sharing the love.
Well, to be fair, he has to save himself up because on 205 Live, he's got a 2 out of 3 falls match against Drew Gulak.
Yeah. Gulak still took that over the top rope bump like a champ.
Yeah.
Drew Gulak, I salute you.
For a better 205 Live.
Oh, hell yeah.
We had Enzo throwing some shade at Big Cass, calling him out for him being a little bitch against Big Show last week. Then Cass came out and tried to fight Enzo, and Enzo's like, no! Hell no! You want to fight, though? You can fight Big Show. And this was the first of 2 instances where it seemed like security didn't give... They gave 0 fucks about what was happening in the ring. Because no one came out to stop this fight between Big Show and Big Cass.
I mean, honestly, though, I wouldn't volunteer.
That's true.
I'm not Carl Anderson.
I'm not the Revival. Big Cass ended up winning this situation, though, because he ended up taking out Big Show and Enzo.
Yeah, because Enzo, eventually got back in the ring when Cass got the advantage on Big Show.
And he ate
which
a boot.
to me was kind of looked like it was going to be a cheap shot.
A little
Let's
bit.
be real. I have some issues with Enzo in this segment. One, because Enzo's doing the Enzo thing again, where he's talking, he's calling Cass out on being an asshole, which I'm not disagreeing, because Cass is an asshole. I'm all on board for the Casshole argument.
Okay.
But then as soon as Cass comes out, Enzo's gonna hide behind the bigger guy again.
Well, that's what I think this was. I think this was a ruse between Enzo and the Big Show.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm just saying, this is what Enzo did. Is Enzo's like, I'm gonna talk trash and hide behind Cass. Now I don't have Cass, so I gotta find someone else to hide behind. I'm picking Big Show.
Well, I mean, he's smart.
Yeah. I think he's going to try and cheap shot Cass from behind while Cass is winning
that
on
was
the Big Show. Trying to steal Cass's thunder, turns around and takes a boot to the shoulder.
It was a little bit of a bitch move on Enzo's part. I just really want to see Cass and Show have a match.
Yeah.
Like an actual match.
Can we have it not involving Enzo?
Maybe that'll be another match we get next week.
Hey, I wouldn't mind.
I'd be alright with that. We had Finn Balor versus Elias Sampson again. Because reasons.
Elias Sampson looked mean this time.
Yeah, he did. Elias turned up the violence in this one, which was really good. Even going to the lengths of getting himself disqualified by blasting Finn Balor with his guitar.
Yeah.
And busting him open on the back of the head. It was a gnarly shot. A little bit of a miscommunication as to where the guitar was going to hit. Caused a little bit of blood on the head of Finn Balor. This has resulted in a no disqualification match next week, and also, again, we're getting the beginning of Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a promo where Bray Wyatt came up on the screen while Finn was recuperating ringside.
And Bray said stuff.
Yeah, which pretty much just amounted to exactly what I said. It was like, you got hit with a guitar.
Well, and like part of it was like what he said when he got drafted to Raw was like, I've been watching you, blah blah blah.
And there was some sort of I feed on pain or other people's pain whatever.
What the fuck? I don't get it.
Bray. You're starting to get too confusing. I mean, you can get mysterious and confusing to a degree, and you get cool. But if you get if you overdo it, it just gets kind of shitty.
Yeah. So I think it's safe to say that Bray Wyatt will get involved next week and cause Finn Balor to lose the no DQ match against Elias Sampson.
Probably. It's 50-50 booking.
Exactly. I'm going to let you talk about this because I think it's stupid.
This is a Kurt Angle segment?
Yep.
Kurt Angle, in a WWE probably thought about this 2 days ago twist, Jason Jordan is apparently Kurt Angle's illegitimate son. I want to know legitimately what your beef with this is.
What does this do for anyone? Other than break up one of the best tag teams that the main roster has.
It puts a spotlight on Jason Jordan.
For a second, this is not. I don't think this is going to amount to anything. I almost guarantee by the end of the summer, Jason Jordan will just be another guy on the Raw roster, and Chad Gable will be just another guy on the SmackDown roster.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you there.
I have zero interest in this. I have more interest in a Brock Lesnar match than I do this storyline.
Ooh, that's nice.
I want to see American Alpha. I don't want to see Jason Jordan being Kurt Angle Jr. I don't want to see Chad Gable losing constantly in an attempt to become the United States champion. Don't get me wrong, I'll be excited if Chad Gable becomes the United States champion, but when the current beef over that title is Kevin Owens and AJ Styles, that ain't gonna fucking happen.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of like what I've been thinking about, and I don't know if I've ever actually mentioned it on the show, but my whole thought behind this was that WWE wanted to start this thing to create a buzz or whatever, and I think initially, whatever direction they were going, I think it actually probably had something to do with the Cass and Enzo attacks, which is why the reveal seemed so lackluster and like forced, and then why this just feels like a weirdly thrown together story. Like, I feel like before we knew that it involved Kurt's personal life, where it was just something that seemed like it threatened Kurt's professional life, his job as a GM, prior to it affecting how, everybody's going to look at me because of this thing. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, WWE's like, we have this idea, shit, okay, it's not going to work exactly how we wanted it to, but we can't drop it because we've already committed House of Horrors match.
Yeah,
it's a thing. You know, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt.
One of us has
just
to.
Because it's a storyline on Raw. I don't know. Because it's got Jason Jordan. He's a good wrestler.
WWE, make me eat my words, please. Please. I want you to. But I don't think you're going to.
No, I'm just saying right off the bat, we just need to get Chad Gable back over onto Raw to team up with Jason Jordan again.
That's fine.
And then have them be the new Team Angle. And then, like, right after SummerSlam, Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin can come back and get all pissed off at Kurt Angle for replacing them. Then I want Shelton Benjamin to be like, I was all over Japan wrestling and doing cool shit, and then I heard this happens. And then Charlie Haas is like, you were in Japan? And then Charlie Haas goes on this whole, like, Bull Buchanan fucking... After I left WWE... my wife left me and my dog died and my car blew up. And I got rabies.
His life became a country song. The Revival took on the Hardy Boys in tag team action.
Good match.
This was a fantastic match. I'm excited to see more of this feud.
MOAR, more, yeah.
I mean, not only is it great to see the Revival back, but it's great to see the Revival back doing exactly what the Revival does, making everybody look like $1 million fucking dollars.
Yeah. Simultaneously, they somehow beat the shit out of people and make them look good.
Yeah. That's what wrestling is.
That's when you know you're, like, good, is when you can spend the match dissecting your opponent and still making them look better than you.
And they had an answer for everything the Hardy Boys did, which was great.
And the Dudley Boys, too.
Michael Cole. But eventually, Jeff Hardy was going for a Swanton Bomb onto Dawson, but Dash was able to yank him down and crotch him on the top rope, and that allowed Dawson to roll him up, and Matt Hardy was in no kind of ability to get back into the ring, break up the pin, though the pin was a little wonky.
Yeah.
Which will probably lead to a rematch next week.
He pulled the tights so hard that he pulled Jeff off of his shoulders.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll probably
it's one of those, like, what was it, Sasha Banks, Alicia Fox moments from like a couple months ago?
Yeah, it's what built up to that, the mixed tag match at Extreme Rules. Yeah, so we might get a rematch of this, but that's good, because I'll watch more of the Revival versus the Hardys.
Absolutely.
So I'm cool with that. Then our main event was Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns to determine who's going to face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam.
Speaking of faces, I hope we have a picture of Roman Reigns' foot on Samoa Joe's face.
Maybe. If we do, it's right here. If not,
because that was
these
gnarly.
two beat the fuck out of each other, and it was great.
As they always do. That's like the one thing I appreciate about Samoa Joe Roman Reigns matches. Samoa Joe is one of those guys who pushes Roman Reigns to pull out a great match.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of guys who are good enough that when they get in there, they're going against Roman Reigns has to work hard enough to make a match decent.
Yes.
But then there are a handful of guys who are above and beyond where when they work with Roman Reigns, the match comes out really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe is one of those guys.
And as if the violence between these two wasn't enough, let's add Braun Strowman to the mix.
Yeah.
This was another instance where it took... Security actually got involved this time, but it took a while.
Did they? Did they really?
Well, they came to ringside.
Yeah. No. Before we go too much farther into this, I also want to give kudos to the most literal Samoan drop in the history of Samoan drops.
A Samoan doing a Samoan drop to a Samoan.
Yeah, the Samoan dropped a Samoan with a Samoan drop. How many drops would a Samoan drop if a Samoan could drop Samoan drops?
On that note, Braun Strowman came out and I wouldn't say ruined the match because the match was good.
Yeah.
He wanted to remind people that he wasn't finished with Roman Reigns. He also wanted to remind people that technically this title shot should be his.
Yeah.
And he came out and he proved that by destroying both Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe.
Yeah. Well, I like the very first thing he does is he comes out and Samoa Joe's laying down in the corner and he just pulls Samoa Joe out of the ring and he just kind of looks at him like, well, I'm done. And then gets in the ring and starts fighting.
I choose to think that he out of the ring, dropped him and went, that's not Roman Reigns. That's Roman Reigns. And then he got in and just fucking obliterated Reigns.
But then they got to the outside for a second, and then like Braun hucks Roman back in through the ropes.
Yeah.
And then he turns over and Samoa Joe's back up, and Samoa Joe's like, "Who the fuck are you, bitch?"
Yeah, no, it was.
And then he found out, oh yeah, Braun Strowman.
It was a great.
Nice to meet you.
It was a great battle between all three of these guys, which eventually, just the security
Samoa
guard.
Joe and Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar wasn't there. Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns actually sort of like tried to work together.
A little bit.
Like
While still
unintentionally.
hating each other.
But like the two of them together in like Samoa Joe choking out Braun Strowman while Roman Reigns is punching him.
Yes.
Still didn't take out Braun Strowman.
No, they ended up both getting dropped with power slams while security guards jumped up on the apron and then immediately jumped down as Braun Strowman took one simple step towards them.
Yeah, you just look at them and they're like, no. Sorry.
Yeah, no, like the first couple groups actually like lasted a step. The other one, he just turned his head and all three of them went whoop! And they all just unison jump off the apron. But eventually, Braun Strowman left on his own accord after leaving both Samoan guys completely destroyed in the ring. So, we're either going to get a triple threat match to determine who faces Brock Lesnar, or we're just going to have a big old giant fatal four-way at SummerSlam, which I am totally okay with.
I think it would be great.
I would love it.
So, if it wasn't bad enough to be Brock Lesnar being stuck between a Rock's cousin and a Hard Joe, Braun Strowman's involved now.
Mm-hmm. Just got a little worse. I can only hope, even though I know it won't, I can only hope that this is the end of Brock Lesnar's title run. But it's probably not. But I hope it is. So yeah, we have like half of Monday Night Raw set for next week. We've got number one contender matches. We got
No DQ
DQ matches. We got a handicap match. So Yeah.
You can bet there's going to be fallout from this Braun Strowman attack.
Fallout from Big Show and Big Cass.
Probably a match between the two of them, hopefully.
Potentially a rematch, or maybe we just have Dawson versus Jeff Hardy, or something of that sort. So
let's put Jason Jordan in a match. Is he cleared to actually I mean, he was in the
I don't
Battle
know.
Royal on SmackDown, but
I don't know.
because he was injured, right?
Yeah,
That's
that was why Alpha was off TV for a while.
Okay.
Is he
put him in a
he had
match.
he had a shoulder injury or something, and then he was in the Battle Royal, so he must be okay to wrestle.
Let's do it.
Sure.
Who would he go against though?
Huh?
Who would he go against though?
I don't know. He's later. Nah, he's gonna go against a heel, so he'd go against. I don't know. We'll find out.
Also, sad day on Raw because there was no Sheamus and Cesaro.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Go check out, I think it was Cesaro's Instagram. Maybe it was Sheamus's. But there's just a picture of them backstage sitting on two different leather chairs with their titles over their shoulders with the caption, waiting for competition.
Yeah, no Cesaro and Sheamus, no club.
Well, there you go. He's going to go against one of the guys from the club.
No Mickey James or Dana Brooke.
They're not relevant anymore.
No Alicia Fox.
She's in some dark rabbit hole.
Yeah,
now.
she's wallowing in a corner, just waiting for Noam Dar to come back. But for now, guys, thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
Click the links.
There's a lot of links.
Check out the podcast.
That's one of the links.
Check out Reasonable Wrestling Fans.
That's reasonable that you
Like wrestling, where we'll be shooting 2 punishment videos later this week. He'll hopefully be eating a nasty pizza, and we'll be eating a big old heaping pile of fireballs. Not a pile, just a set of fireballs.
Yes, we're each going to put a pair of balls in our mouth.
Yep.
That's all he's trying to say.
That's what we do for views.
No homo.
Also, stay on the YouTube because we'll be having Battleground predictions coming out later this week. But for now, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you on whatever video you decide to watch next.
Fuck Titus Worldwide.
Fuck illegitimate sons.
Ooh, then you're saying fuck words well. Fuck you for that.